Welcome to the ClearPath ePortal Developer 4.1 Capabilities demonstration. This video is part of a series of videos which explain the steps to develop different types of data sources and presentation projects in ePortal Developer for modernizing ClearPath applications. In this demonstration, we will show you how to create a data source project for an MCP T27 application. The MCP T27 application that we have selected is an e-bank application which implements some simple banking operations such as accessing account balance and transferring funds between accounts. Let's get started. We will create a new Visual Studio project by selecting menu option File, New, Project. We will now see the Visual Studio New Project dialog box. Let's select the MCP T27 Data Source project type. Let's name the project for our data source as eBank Data Source. For the location, let's select a folder named Workspace. For the solution, let's give the name MCP T27 eBank. Click OK to create the project. Each T27 screen which needs to be part of the modernized application is captured as a T27 data source record, a server message, and a client message. Server messages flow between the ClearPath server and ePortal runtime. Client messages flow between ePortal runtime and the final presentation application. Now let's start with the first development step and capture the T27 screens to be modernized. Right-click the Server Messages node in ePortal message window and click New. Connection Properties dialog will be opened. The server name is the DNS name or IP address of the MCP server hosting the eBank sample application. In our case it is trprogd. The window name is the name of the window that is configured in Transaction Server for running the eBank T27 application. In our case it is ePortal Bank. The socket number is the port number that is used to connect to the MCP T27 application. We will leave it to the default value of 37654. Click OK. T27 terminal emulator is opened with the first screen of T27 application. For eBank application, it is Logon screen. Now right-click and select Add Screen to Project option. Let's enter a unique screen name, Logon, and click OK. The ePortal data source record file is created with the .t27 XML extension and is opened in the editor window. The next step is to add a page identification region. This region is used during ePortal runtime processing to identify the server message. Normally, the first couple of lines of a screen contain the title of the screen and some unique information about the screen. This is a good area to establish a page identification region. Let's select the word Logon on the top line. Right-click and select Add Page Identification Region. A default name for the region is assigned and appears in the Properties window. Select the input field labeled User Code and in its Properties window change the ID value to User Code. Similarly, for the input field Password, change the ID value to Password. Now let's return to the T27 terminal emulator window and log in to the eBank application to navigate and capture the other screens. We should enter a valid user code and password on this page. For this demonstration, we will enter user code and password values as webdev. Then, press the Enter key to transmit this screen. After successful login, we will get Perform Action screen in response. This screen lists all the eBank operations. Let's capture the screen with the name Perform Action. Next, let's add the page identification region. Click on the Perform Action field on the top line. Then right-click and select Add Page Identification Region. If all the screens have a region in the same place and with the same length having distinct values, then the same region can be used for page identification for other screens. To do so, change the value of the default field property to true. If this first region does not make the server message unique, we can identify another region that contains words that, when combined with the first region, make the server message unique. Now click on the second input field, Choice. Change its ID value to Choice. Now let's return to the T27 emulator window. Enter choice value as 1 and transmit. The account screen will be opened. Similarly, let's capture this screen using the screen name Accounts. Notice that the Accounts field on the top line automatically gets selected as Page Identification Region because we have set default field property to true. If a screen has variable data that needs to appear on the modernized screen, you must identify that data as protected areas known as dynamic regions. Account details is a variable data and each line is one dynamic region. Data for this region will be in an array where each item will hold data for one line displayed here. Let's select the first line of text, starting from the first non-blank character to the last non-blank character. Right-click and select Add Dynamic Region Array. It will open the Dynamic Region Array dialog. Let's select 3 for array size and click OK. This will select all the 3 lines of Accounts display area as dynamic region. In the Properties window, change the ID value to Accounts. Click the Collection Browse button for property template fields. Here we will add the members for the Accounts template fields and their field length. Click the Add button to add members. ID with length 1, number with length 8, name with length 20, and balance with length 10. Click OK. This will create an Accounts type template field which can be used to display account details for future screens. Now, let's return to the T27 emulator window and transmit to return to the menu screen. Now enter choice value as 2 and transmit to go to the Transfer Funds screen. The Transfer Funds screen will open. Similarly, let's capture this screen using the screen name Transfer Funds. Let's select the first line of account details. Right-click and select Add Dynamic Region Array option. Then select 3 for array size and click OK. In the Properties window, change the ID value to Accounts and apply template value to Accounts type which we created previously. Let's change the default IDs of input fields. For From as From, for To as To, Amount as Amount, Recurring Transfer as Recurring Transfer, Frequency as Frequency, Email Confirmation ID as Email Confirmation, and Cancel as Cancel. Let's save all the changes. Now, we need to capture the confirmation screen which is displayed after a successful fund transfer. So let's return to the T27 emulator window and perform a legal money transfer to get the confirmation screen. Let's enter the transfer fund details. From value as 1, to value as 2, and amount value as 2000. Transmit the screen to do the transfer. The confirmation screen will be opened. Similarly, let's capture this screen using the screen name confirmation. Notice that most of the data displayed here is dynamic. Let's select the text after description. Right-click and select Add Dynamic Region option and change the ID to description. Similarly, let's add the dynamic regions for time field and change its ID to time. Then for date field with ID as date. And for confirmation code with ID as confirmation code. Let's save all the changes. In the ePortal message window, we can see all the server messages and corresponding client messages which were generated because the screens were captured. This completes the demonstration. Unisys offers a comprehensive set of ClearPath services to enrich the value of your ClearPath applications, data, and systems. Please contact your Unisys representative for more information.